All right, Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity. This is just something I was watching. This is from CNET Highlights. This is from about 2 months ago. All right, and as you can see, the title says, Watch Navy Explain Newly Released Video of UFOs to Congress. All right, so this... the reason why Esau is moving so fast is because, the threat of Yahweh Shai is getting greater and greater, as we go out and preach the word and the word spreads forth throughout the earth. This is what the prophecies have been leading towards, the prophecy of the Lord's coming ever since the Old Testament, man. All right. This is that great kingdom that will be visited by the Lord. All right. This kingdom that we're living in, Babylon, a great ruled by the Edomites. Now I'm gonna play a little bit of this so you can get you can just listen to a little bit, and I'll get some scriptures because this is prophecy, man. All right, they're dismayed at the signs of heaven. They're dismayed at these things. Why? Because these are heathens that are on the planet ruling. All right, and they have the power and dominion on the earth right now. All right, according to the book of Job, the 9th chapter and the 24th verse. All right.
A UAP, walk me through the reporting protocol once I see something that I think needs reported.
The first thing that aviator would do after landing as a part of their normal debriefing is they would contact their intelligence officer. Their intelligence officer would then walk them through first filing data preservation to ensure that.
So these UFO sightings are actually reaching the gates of the noble. Yahweh Shai and the angel, the Lord is using Yahweh Shai in this in the heavenly host to make a point, a statement. All right, and all the other nations are seeing the same thing, man. All right, what we preach about concerning the chariots of the Lord being the UFOs is true. It's truth. Okay.
Whatever sensor data may be on the aircraft, that we preserve that so that it's available for later analysis. Second, they would actually fill out a form that includes details like where they were operating, altitudes they were operating, speeds, what they observed, whatever sensor data they may have recorded from that. And then that report is filed. It goes two places. One, it goes through the operational chain of command, so that operational units are aware of what's being observed, and also through the UAP task force, so that they can take that data, database it, and quite often have individuals from the task force contact the aviator and ask them additional questions if there were things that weren't clear in the report. That then goes into.
So it's a whole it's a whole list of things that they have to do when they see these so-called UFOs. All right, and these usually ever since they released the so-called images, these were all going into disclosed files. So Esau's been seeing the chariots, man. All right, this goes all the way back to the 50s when they made that announcement that I think it was Ronald Reagan, that we are gonna all have to stand together at one point, and we're coming into that time. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms. I believe it's Psalms 10. Bear with me 1 second. All right, we're coming into these times where the chariots of the Lord are being seen, man. Or Jeremiah 10, I'm sorry. Jeremiah 10 and 2, it says, Thus saith the Lord, the God of this Bible, Yahweh is his name, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. It says, learn not the way of the heathen. That's the ways of the heathen is the wickedness, all right, and the ways of life that are contrary to these law, statutes, and commandments, all right. And this is what the Lord is telling us not to learn. Christmas, all right, which is one of the ways of the heathen that's spoken of in this chapter. All right, that's something that we shouldn't be learning. We try to go out there and tell our people that's going off, right along with a plethora of other things that our people are doing that we're trying to help them leave off from. All right, different ways of black culture that have been put upon them because they've had no culture, because it's been stolen from them. All right, so we're letting our people know, learn not the way of the heathen. Now you should be learning the way of the Lord. All right. And then it says, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. All right, what are the signs of heaven? All right, all these blood moons we've been having, the solar eclipses. All right, because the Lord uses those as those great lights in the sky, the sun and the moon. He uses them for times and signs. It tells you that in the book of, I believe, Deuteronomy. All right, also the chariot sightings, man. All right, these are actual signs, all right, that the heathens are dismayed at. They don't know what they are. They try to measure the speeds of the chariots. All right, they try to measure the altitude of the chariots. You just heard it yourself. They make reports on these things, and they're mostly put in disclosed files. And now they let them out whenever they want to. All right, but now the world knows these things are true, because you can have your own smartphone, all right, and catch and record a UFO, which is the chariot of the Yahweh Bashim Shai, man. So we're in those times, man. This video was about 2 months ago, so they're in the works of making another department in the Space Force, because the chariot sightings are getting so great, all right, that they have to disclose a lot of things. All right, Jeremiah 10:2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Don't be alarmed, don't be frightened, because the heathens are. Esau's frightened by these things. It says, for the heathen are dismayed at them. All right, you go into this word dismayed, I believe it's frightened in there, or terrified. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go, dismayed.
Strong's H 2865. Chathath.
It says to be shattered, be dismayed, be broken, be abolished, be afraid. It says to be terrified. See right there? Terrified, to shatter. All right, so we are not to be terrified of these things. These are the things that are letting us know that our salvation, the salvation for the elect, is coming, man. All right, and this is what we're all fighting to be a part of the elect, the 144,000, the government body of the Lord. All right. So let's go back to this video real quick.
To into a database where we begin to
Now, if you they're gonna play a video next, and you're gonna catch the chariot go so fast that they go back and they try to find the frame, which is it's unbelievable how they can't, with all this money and technology, how they can't find the specific frame. They do these things on purpose, man. They know what time it is. They know what these are, according to what the men of the Lord are saying out on the highways and byways, man. They are watching the videos. The elite are watching the videos. The elite of the other countries are watching these videos. All right, this truth is worldwide, man. That's why the prophecies are unfolding on the earth. The Lord speeding up the time. That's what times we're living in. The Lord is speeding up things in the spirit. All right, more brothers are getting weak. All right. More brothers are experiencing more attacks because we're getting closer to the end. All right. And it's just going to increase. All right.
compare it with other observations that we have, again, comparing for locations, comparing for altitude, speeds, shapes, if any RF emissions were detected from the platform, all of that, so that we can try to reach some conclusions on that.
Thank you. Yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Chairman Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Brett, can you rerun that first image that looked like it was outside of a plane window?
Now, check this out. It's going to be hard to see, but you'll catch it. It's a chariot going so fast they can't even pick it up on the camera, man. All right, and this is terrifying to Esau, man. They are, as it said in Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, they are dismayed at these things, man. They are terrified at these things. All right. It's a terrifying thing to understand that the people that you have had in captivity, you've stolen their ethnicity, you've stolen their culture. All right. They're about to be the ones to rule over every other nation on the earth forever, man. This is the terrifying thing, man, for them. Then they're seeing the videos of that the brothers do. All right. So we're living in those times, man. Look at this Edomite's face, man. Through.
And if you wouldn't mind going up to the screen and tell us what we're seeing. Not that you can necessarily tell us what we're seeing, but
Right.
explain what we should be looking at in
Dismayed.
that first image.
Absolutely. And Alexi, what I'll ask is if you can stop it at a certain point.
Boom. And it happened that quick. That was the chariot that you just seen, the little orb or globe at the top right of that when they first started the video. So now they're going to try to go back and find it, which it takes them a while. But let's see.
Aircraft that is operating in a U.S. Navy training range that has
There it is, right
observed
there. See?
Spherical object in that area.
Boom.
And as they fly by it, they take a video. You see it looks reflective in this video, somewhat reflective, and it quickly passes by the cockpit of the aircraft.
And is this one of the phenomena that we can't explain?
I do not have an explanation for what this specific object is.
And is this one of the situations where it is, that's the object that we're looking at right there? Thank you. And is this a situation where it was observed by the pilot and it was also recorded by the aircraft's instruments?
We'll talk about the multi-sensor part in a later session.
All right, so you can go check this video out. The Lord is coming with the thousands of heaven, man. Let's go to let's get this real quick. Actually, you know what? Since he made that dismayed face, we'll go back to it. Easy, the bites are done, man. All right. You got Edomites looking in a dismayed manner. Prophet's been telling you what these are, starting with the apostles and elders on down. All right. These Edomites are dismayed. All right. Just as Antiochus was, man. Will they turn to us for good? Let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 5. 2 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 1. About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. And this is the Navy, by the way. So these are Navy pilots, all right? And they relay these messages back to the ships and landers and the cruisers, all right, that they land on. So this is going is going forth throughout the Navy, all right? And this, at the same time, Antiochus, in the ancient world, he was with his Navy, so-called Navy of that time, all right? Because they went on a voyage. 2 Maccabees 5 and 1, about the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt, and then it happened that through all the city, for the space almost of 40 days, there were seen horsemen running in the air in cloth of gold and armed with lances like a band of soldiers, and troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes, and drawing of swords, and casting of darts, and glittering of golden ornaments, and harnesses of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that the apparition might turn to good. So that whole crew that was with Antiochus or Antiochus, they prayed that the apparition, that the chariots they were seeing in the sky, the things they couldn't explain that they were seeing, all right, turned to them for good. You see? So these things, the chariots have always been seen by Esau, man. This goes back to the time of the Greeks. All right? And these low-level Edomites, such as the ones you're seeing, that have these dismayed faces on their, these dismayed facial expressions, all right, they're low-level. They're still trying to figure out what these things are. The people above them, the elite, they understand what these are. That's what they know. What time is it? What time it is? That's why they're pushing forth into their NWO. All right. Let's get this real quick. And I'm not gonna make this too long. grab this. This is James chapter 2. Let's go there real quick. James 2. What was it? James 2:19. Okay. This is James chapter 2. And 18 it says, yeah, a man may say thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith with thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. We're going to show our faith and our belief in what we teach on the highways and byways, the faith and the belief of Yahweh Shai returning, the faith and belief of standing out there trying to wake up the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, as Israelite prophets. We're going to continue in that, all right, and we're going to believe what's written in these scriptures. Verse 19, it says, thou believest that there is one power. We believe there's one power, all right, with his son underneath him. All right, with another order on the earth. All right, that's the order of the heavens. All right, we believe that there's one power, Yahweh. It says, thou doest well. It says the devils, which are the Edomites, also believe and tremble. So these elite banker families, they understand what times we're living in, man. They understand what people's waking up on the earth, according to prophecy. All right, because what's going to happen is, as we were saved out of a past Egypt, right? When we were under the Hamites, all right. This is the Egypt, all right. According to what? Revelation 11, spiritual Sodom in Egypt that we're gonna be saved out of again. And who saved us out of the last Egypt? Yahweh Shai. All right. That's the same angel. All right. Let me see if I can find it. We'll read it here. This is we'll read down. This is Wisdom of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon 18. And let's see here. Just bear with me 1 second. View the whole chapter. This is Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 7. It says, so of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemies. For wherewith thou didst punish our adversaries, by the same thou didst glorify us whom thou hadst called. So that's what's happening again. All right, Esau's going down and we're being glorified, just as the Egyptians went down and we were glorified each and every time Moses and Aaron did those miracles. All right, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart so that what? He could destroy him. Same thing he's doing to Esau now. All right, making this man go forth with his so-called his NWO. So that what? The Lord can eventually show his power and pop out on him. All right, just as he did to the other great Egypt or bondage. All right, or straight gate. All right, or double straights, excuse me, that we were in under the Hamites, man. All right. We were actually under the people of Montezarian, all right, which were Hamites, which would be what? The modern day, I believe, Sudanese. Those tall, dark motherfuckers. All right, those are the ancient Egyptians. All right, and we were in captivity under them when Moses was on the scene. Now, this is our Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 9. For the righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly, and that one consent made a holy law that the saints should be like partakers of the same good and evil. The fathers now sing out the songs of praise. But on the other side, there sounded an ill according cry of the enemies, and a lamentable noise was carried abroad for children that were bewailed. The master and the servant were punished after one manner, and like as the king, so suffered the common person. All right, and this is what's going to take place here in America. These Edomites trickling down the levels of Edomites, all of them going to suffer, man. Our people, 2/3 of our people going to suffer. All unbelievers, all people that are not of this remnant, understand, they have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, they have the spirit of prophecy. All right, all of them are going to perish, just as the kings are, the elites. So they all together had innumerable dead with one kind of death. Neither were the living sufficient to bury them, for in one moment the noblest offspring of them was destroyed. See? So these people the Lord's going to start judging this place, man. Just as he's always judged our captors, man. Verse 13, for whereas they would not believe anything by reason of the enchantments, upon the destruction of the firstborn, they acknowledged this people to be the sons of the Lord. So the plagues of Egypt are coming back. That same plague that the Lord used to get rid of the firstborn in the old Egypt, all these things are coming back. Right along with what? The Lord leaping out of the heavens, like that same, like the time before, all right? When we were in Egypt, then we were led out of Egypt through the wilderness by the chariots, by that same angel Yahushua. These things are going to take place again, man. All right, wisdom, nothing is new under the sun. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 14. For while all things were quiet and silence, and that night was in the midst of her swift course, thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction. So let's talk about in this time, man. Okay. These things were done in the ancient world. The Lord came and saved us many of times. Michael came and I think the apostle just did a lesson on it. All right. On how Michael came before. All right. Yahushua. We were always saved by the heavenly host out of if we had no might, no power. See? Even King David himself. All right, verse 15. Thine almighty word, so this is talking about this time we're living in now. Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of the royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction. What did he leap down in? The chariots, which means he came down into this realm with the heavenly hosts, with the chariots. All right, the so-called UFOs that Esau's dismayed at. We're trying to tell you what these things are and how they're going to play out in this time. We're telling you these things before they happen. They're going to come and destroy America. It says, thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of the royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction. And brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. Then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for. So the Lord's about to put these people through pure hell, man. All right. But these things that we're seeing, that the Navy is seeing, as the Navy that was with the Greeks, Antiochus, on their voyage, are the chariots of the Lord, man, that are on their way. All right. Let's go to Isaiah 66. All right. The chariots are spoken of all over the scriptures, man. All right. We're trying to tell you what they are. You don't have to keep calling them UFOs, man. Let's go to, let's see here. Let's go to Isaiah 66. So this is why the scripture says, look up, for your salvation is nearer than when you believe. This is Isaiah 66 and 15. So when the Lord comes, how is he going to come? It says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain, the killing, the slaughtering, as it says here, of the Lord shall be many. Okay? So these things that the Navy are seeing, we're telling you what these are. These are the military and the army and the might and the reconnaissance of the nation of Israel. They're really the Most High's military, man. The Most High, Bahashim Yahushai's military, man. All right, Yahushai. Since they're going to get on us all for saying the Most High. And, it's just fucking ridiculous, man. But that's why it's beautiful that we're in the end of this society. And that the remnant is waking up. And that the true nation that's supposed to be ruling the earth in righteousness is going to be what delivered. The remnant of them, of course, the elect of them, is going to be delivered, all right, out of this society before the destruction of this place, man. Read Second Ezra's, or actually, I believe it's Malachi 4. All right. The Lord is going to come with destruction and the fire, as it said here in Isaiah 66. And what? He also going to come forth with salvation for the elect. for the remnant. All right, that's why we're all continuously doing this work and staying on the right path. All right, prophesying of the things to come. All right, because these things have been written of old. All right, that angel in the ancient world, that's the same angel that's coming back in these last days. Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and he's coming back the same way, and even in even more glory. All right, but he's coming with what? To judge the wicked, and to save the elect. All right, Revelation. Even John seen it. Revelation 19. Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. What is that white horse? That colossal chariot the Lord's coming on, that you can read about in 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. All right. White is symbolic for purity, righteousness. And the horse, a white horse, is symbolic for white, purity, righteousness, and power. That's what the horse means. And that's what that chariot is. So you know how like Ford has their slogan, built tough, or they got horses. The Lord has the same thing. But he's coming back on that glorious, all right, great white that you've never, that white that you've never seen, and glow that you've never seen, and in power, a white, pure horse. That's the chariot coming. And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. What does that mean? That means he's coming back, and when he does, he's going to take all the dominion and all the rulership from all these different kings and princes, prime ministers around the earth, man. And he's going to set up his people. Right? That's what's happening. The crazy men you see out on the highways and byways, you know, now everybody know the Israelites. I just seen the nigga woman with some tight ass clothes with fringes on this. So Jake don't got no goddamn excuse, man. Okay. Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Lord. And the armies which were in the heaven followed him upon white horses, other chariots, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. So the Lord's coming with a righteous army, man. All right, Yahweh Shai and Michael. This is why they're freaking out, because they don't understand what's coming. The judgment for you Edomites and all your treachery on the earth, man. There's going to be a visitation upon you. All right, and all these signs around the world, the earthquakes, the wars, the famines, the plagues, they are all tokens and signs that the Lord is getting ready to return to this place to make great judgments on the earth, remove people from power, and set people in power, as it says in what? The book of Daniel, the book of Psalm 75. Okay? Because the Lord is in control of who is in power on the earth. Right? And you Edomites, all right, here in America, Babylon the Great, your Navy, your Army, your Marine Corps, all right? All of these branches of military are going to be taken out of power. Your governments are going to be taken down. All right? And there's going to be an establishment of righteousness on the earth via Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, and the elect. All right, King David, the 12. All right, righteousness and light is going to come back onto the earth forevermore. So, and that's what we're seeing the beginnings of it in the Navy. They're getting their own glimpse at, we know they have other videos and files and images. All right, so they're getting their own taste of what's to come. But on their part is going to be for judgment and destruction, man. So I'm not gonna make this too long, Lord willing. It was edifying. Call halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. Shalom and Abba Ball.